Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well-informed. Today, we're diving into something really exciting, actually. A program from Taiwan called Golden Harmony of Happiness. And it's making waves because it just got nominated for Best Social Concern Program at the 60th Golden Bell Awards for Radio. That's a pretty big deal over there.
It really is a huge honor.
Yeah.
So today, we're going to unpack what makes this show, Golden Harmony of Happiness, tick.
Yeah.
We'll look at, why they even started it, how it's structured, which is quite unique, and what it all means for Taiwan, especially as it faces this big demographic shift. It's definitely more than just, a radio show. It's got some serious insights.
And we've got great source material for this. We've been listening to an episode of John Chat, which is the creator's own platform. They were talking all about the journey, feeling grateful for the nomination. So it feels like we're getting the inside scoop.
Yeah, straight from the source.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the origin story. Where did Golden Harmony of Happiness actually come from? You might expect something very, lofty.
Right. Some grand plan.
But it sounds like it started, well, kind of playfully. They called it a bit mischievous.
Yeah, that's right. Apparently, the initial push was, believe it or not, to get the co-host, Yi-Teng, to speed up his PhD literature review.
Seriously, that's brilliant. Talk about motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His PhD research was focused on this specific area, dual elder families in Taiwan. And that ties right into the bigger picture because Taiwan is officially becoming a super-aged society in 2025. That means 1 in 5 people will be elderly. So the program idea was, okay, let's take this complex stuff about aging, disability, these family dynamics, and translate it, make it understandable, practical for everyday people, not just academic speak.
And they got specific in the source about what dual elder families means, didn't they? It wasn't just one thing.
Correct. They outlined 2 main scenarios. First, the one you might think of, younger elderly, maybe 60s, 70s, caring for the really old parents, like 80s or 90s.
Okay, yeah.
But then there's this other scenario, which sounds incredibly challenging, especially from the world of special education. You have old parents, elderly themselves, still providing primary care for their old adult children with disabilities. Like someone in their 50s or 60s with cerebral palsy, for example, who's lived at home their whole life.
Wow. That's a lifetime commitment right there. Decades and decades of care.
Absolutely. And what the program really highlighted, which I found insightful, is how complex these relationships are.
Yeah.
It's not just one person giving care and the other receiving. Often the caregiver gets huge emotional support from the person they're caring for.
Ah, right. It's interwoven.
Exactly. It's symbiotic.
Yeah.
So figuring out who's really supporting whom emotionally, physically, it gets blurry. It really challenges that simple idea of caregiver burden. It's mutual.
Yeah, I can see that. And speaking of pressure, that deadline they mentioned, that must have really focused the mind.
Oh, completely. It sounds like it was a bit of a shock.
They thought after the New Year meant, after Lunar New Year, giving them months.
Right. Plenty of time.
But nope. It meant January 1st, Gregorian New Year.
Which gave them, what, like just over a month?
Yeah. To structure 13 whole episodes, talk about turning PhD pressure into concrete radio content fast.
That's one heck of an accelerated literature review right there.
Huh. Exactly. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. The structure itself. They didn't just do standard interviews. Each episode, all 13 in Sort 1, followed this 3-part suite structure. That was Yuan's concept, apparently. Golden Prelude, Golden Symphony, and Golden March.
Very evocative names.
Totally. What does that actually mean in practice, starting with the Golden Prelude?
So the prelude, it's designed to ease you in emotionally and philosophically. It often starts with a piece of literature about aging. It could be something quite deep, like that book, Who is Waiting for You in the Sparkling Place, or even something funny. They mention excerpts from a Japanese book with anecdotes, like mistaking a racing heart for love when it's actually a heart condition.
Okay, so relatable entry points.
Exactly. And then, after that literary piece, it shifts. It brings in real stories, voices from interviews they did, families dealing with really tough stuff. Rare diseases, mental illness, autism, communication barriers.
That anecdote they shared about the mother with the child who has a rare disease, that really stuck with me.
Oh.
Saying, for us mothers, we basically don't look to the future. Just focus on living each day, no regrets.
Powerful stuff.
How does starting with those raw personal stories work? Does it sort of prime the listener before the experts come in?
I think that's precisely the goal. It bypasses the jargon, the clinical distance. You hear the human reality first. It builds empathy right away. So when the experts do come in later, the advice feels grounded. It's not just abstract theory. You've already connected with the lived experience.
Right, you felt something first. Okay, so that's the prelude. Empathy, real stories. Then comes the Golden Symphony. What happens there?
The symphony is where the core information transfer happens, you could say, but in a very engaging way. They call it a diverse orchestra of experts. So in-depth conversations. And this is where they focus on translating solid evidence, academic research, clinical insights into practical popular science.
Okay.
Stuff people can actually use in their daily lives. And it's tailored for that audience, say 45 and older, empowering them with knowledge.
And the range of experts sounds amazing. You mentioned Professor Lu-Chin Yu on nutrition from Fujian University.
Yes, talking about eating well versus just eating enough, especially around holidays. Dispelling myths.
Which is huge culturally. And Tru Bajin from the Cerebral Palsy Association on accessible spaces, practical care.
Right. But they also covered mental health, dementia, autism, leisure literacy, like how to enjoy your free time as you age. Also anti-fraud, the digital divide, even AI. Plus discussions bringing different professionals together, like social workers, community services folks.
That's incredibly comprehensive. What really caught my ear, though, was how they specifically included insights from people living with disabilities, vision, hearing, cognitive, physical impairments. Why bring those perspectives into a show aimed at the general aging population?
That's one of the smartest parts of the design, I think. It's proactive learning. People who've navigated life with a disability have, by necessity, developed incredible coping skills, resilience, creative solutions.
Ah, I see. They're experts in adaptation.
Exactly. So their lived experience offers tangible strategies for everyone facing changes that come with aging. It's like getting foresight from those who've already figured things out. It makes the advice feel much more real, more achievable than just hearing it from an academic. It's learning from lived expertise.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, prelude for empathy, symphony for knowledge. What about the Golden March? How do they wrap things up?
The Golden March closes each episode with music specifically, a song that echoes the theme they just discussed.
Oh, cool. Like theme music, but tailored each time.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the choices are really interesting, very diverse. Like for that nutrition episode around Lunar New Year, they used a Taiwanese song, Gu Wei. Very poignant.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that BTS song about depression?
Yeah, you mentioned they were brought in younger listeners.
It did. Apparently K-pop fans picked up on it, shared it, and suddenly they had this influx of younger people engaging with a show about aging.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected connection.
It's fantastic. Shows the power of music.
Totally. They also used movie soundtracks, like from Big Buddha Plus, for a discussion on life's impermanence, accidents. There was a Hakka song called I'm Only 40 or 50, even an English song from the movie Her, Cloud Lover, when talking about tech and AI.
Wow. So Taiwanese, Korean, Japanese snippets earlier. Hakka, English, but really crossing linguistic and genre boundaries.
Absolutely. Even K-pop and rap. Which brings us to the finale.
Yeah.
It wasn't just playing a song. They commissioned an original rap single. Yes. Called Golden Harmony of Happiness, co-written and performed with an artist named Shitzi. And it was designed specifically to summarize the whole season's ideas.
That is seriously innovative. Using rap to synthesize concepts about aging well? Love it.
It speaks volumes about their commitment to reaching people where they are, using cultural forms that resonate across generations. It's not just education. It's connection.
And it didn't stop with the broadcast, did it? They took it further.
Not at all. This is the beyond the broadcast part, which is also really impressive. They organized listener meetups, building a real community, and they started the Golden Mermaid swimming class, specifically for women over 55 who maybe were afraid of water, helping them learn, find joy in it.
That's wonderful. So practical, so community-focused.
And then the tech piece, the Golden Harmony AI chat room.
Right. Tell me more about that. An AR chat based on the show?
Yeah. It lets listeners interact with the program's content whenever they want, ask questions, revisit topics, even just chat about aging stuff.
That's incredibly forward-thinking, making the knowledge accessible 24/7 and interactive.
Exactly. It shows they weren't just putting information out there. They wanted it to stick, to be usable, to be part of people's ongoing lives, a whole ecosystem.
Okay, let's shift perspective a bit. Why is a program like this so significant for Taiwan right now?
The timing is just critical. As we said, 2025, Taiwan becomes a super-aged society. 1 in 5 people elderly. And they mentioned some counties are already there. Over half the residents are 65 plus in some areas.
Well, yeah, over half. That's staggering.
It really is. So this isn't some distant future issue. It's happening now. Families are dealing with it. And Golden Harmony of Happiness steps right into that reality. It offers accessible, practical tools and knowledge for living well and aging gracefully.
Yeah.
That's their stated aim, simple but profound in this context, moving beyond just policy talk to actual daily life strategies.
And the way they do it, that blend of literature, field work, those real stories, expert input, science, it feels quite experimental, innovative for public radio.
It really is. It's not afraid to mix things up, to be emotionally resonant and scientifically grounded. That holistic approach is key.
It feels like a potential model, maybe, for how public media can tackle complex social changes.
I think so, too. And that commitment to reaching different age groups using all these different platforms, radio, online, meetups, swimming, AI, is crucial. You need that multi-pronged approach to make sure the message actually lands, gets integrated into daily life, and maybe even bridges some generational gaps.
Yeah, fostering that understanding.
It's about building individual resilience, but also maybe societal adaptation, preparing people for a future that's already arriving.
And I guess that Golden Bell nomination is a pretty powerful endorsement of that approach, right?
Or absolutely.
Yeah.
It validates all that hard work, the innovative structure, the deep research, the community building. It shows that, yes, a thoughtfully produced program can make a difference on complex social issues. It can connect, inform, and even inspire.
It really demonstrates that public service media can be incredibly dynamic and impactful. So what does this all mean for us listening in? Well, what we've seen today is just how multifaceted Golden Harmony of Happiness is. It started, funnily enough, with a PhD deadline nudge.
Ah, yeah.
And it grew into this incredibly rich resource, blending stories, science, art, community, all focused on aging and disability in Taiwan. It's now this recognized example of social concern in media.
And importantly, it's not gone just because the season aired. The source mentioned it's available on Channel Plus None.
Ah, right. Taiwan's public radio's streaming platform.
Exactly. So people can listen on demand, revisit episodes, keep engaging with all that valuable content and advice. It lives on.
So here's a thought to leave you with, maybe something to mull over. We live in a world that's aging rapidly, pretty much everywhere. How can we, all of us, learn proactively from these diverse experiences? Especially perhaps from those who've already navigated big life challenges, like living with a disability, as this program highlights. How do we use those insights not just to get old, but to actually truly live well and age gracefully?
That's a big question.
Maybe even check out that Golden Harmony AI chat room if you're curious. See what kind of self-directed learning you can do. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.